matter. Yeah.
Yo, what up, family? Appreciate y'all tapping in. This is Who You Talking To. I don't know what episode we on, man. We done started doing every week, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's starting to flow a little bit more. I'm old head real from the To Be Fair show. I'm here with the glizzy gobbler himself, my pops, old head senior. Appreciate you. Late as fuck, right?
Yeah. But you
Right?
know, hey, we done told them, hey, I do a lot of stuff. I had to put struts on the back of a,
That's
you
what you
know.
going with.
Yeah,
What
bruh,
time did you finish the struts?
bruh, when I finished the struts on the back
Because
of
we
it,
went and ate at what's it called?
yeah,
The Play Bowls.
but
After that,
yeah, but I did it by myself. You know how much straining and all of that you got to do to break them big old boats, and then you got to hold them and break them at the same time because you ain't got no help. Because I ain't got no son. If I had a son that was out there with me, you know what I mean, help me out, you know. Because when his shit break, I'll be there to help him. But you know,
it sounds good, but also your son got kids, you know what I mean, and a family to take care of. So we don't necessarily be having the same amount of free time. You was doing that in your free time. You generally have a lot of free time, seeing as though you don't have too much of shit. You know what I mean? But we gonna hop right into it. So the title of it is my mom was dating a married man, and I was raised by a single mother, pretty much my whole life, other than getting kicked out living there. But I was raised by a single mother, and you were raised by a single mother, would you say?
Yes.
Okay, and so in that, what do you think are even advance some good things, or maybe some good things or bad things that you think come from being raised as a young man, being raised by a single mother?
Some good things.
Well, I mean, Jay, whichever way you gonna go with it, I'm just what are your thoughts on the whole thing? Because I got my opinion too, but what do you think,
bro? I think
especially during that time?
I think that they make us. You know what I'm saying? Because you sit there and first of all, you watch. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, they're all the way back there, but go ahead.
Yeah.
But you watch.
First of all, you sit there and you watch your mom.
Mm.
The things that go on in the house, you see them. And then, of course, excuse me. Of course, I've said many times, you know, it was me, my mom, and two girls. So it was them, and then it was me. So the household dynamic was crazy for me. And so, you know, I think I said on our last episode, I think it was, how, you know what I mean, I made a promise to myself when I was probably around, I don't know, 13 or so, that I wasn't gonna cry.
No.
You know what I mean? Because it was very emotional for me. Because as a child growing up, when you start realizing that you're alone, even though you're in the house with three other people, you alone, it makes you emotional through.
I just wanted to make sure we was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It makes you emotional through your early part of your life growing, and then as you get a little older, you start to figure out, not really figuring it out, but thinking about what's really going on. You don't know how to, how to maneuver and how to make sense out of it all, but you do what you can do. And that the thing of it is that the girls, they did everything together. And then that was me. So I was alone. Even though I was in the house with three other people, I was there by myself. So I was going through all this emotional trauma and all of this stuff, dealing with the fact that, I was alone. And then my mom, I used to beg her to have another son. So I had somebody You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And that wasn't gonna happen because mom said she was done.
Then
But
you mess around, had another girl, you be sick.
oh man, Lord,
But go ahead.
I probably would have shot myself. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. So seriously, it does something to you, and that's why you really understand when you grew up the way I grew up, and especially I'm nowhere near the perfect father. Didn't really have an example in my life.
Mm.
So I know where I messed up when it came to you. You know what I'm saying? I know where I messed up, but I learned that later in life.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I know where I messed up. So being with being it with that being said, I was there, but I wasn't there. But I was there enough to where it's in, when stuff got dark over there at mom's, you had a place to go to. And the thing of it is with me, my dad, he had a wife that we didn't get along. So
Mm.
I didn't want to be over there.
Why didn't y'all get along?
We didn't get along because, to be honest, I didn't know it then when I was younger, but
Uh-huh.
my dad's partners and whatnot, they used to be back in the day. Back in the day, my dad was he was a ladies man.
Okay.
So he had plenty women outside the relationship, outside the marriage.
Mm.
And so, and he made good money. People get envious. I didn't know that's what it was then, but looking back, they get envious. So they would tell his wife stuff that he did when he was out that they knew about, but he was, every now and again he would take me with him.
Mm.
You know what I'm
To the
saying?
girl, to the ladies'
To
house.
the latest
I
house.
lived that with you too. Yeah.
Yeah, same
Nigga
thing.
just sit in the
I
front
grew.
room while y'all in the back and just sit there by your damn self watching the TV that you ain't turned because the remote's not there. So you just watching whatever the fuck was already on the TV and just sitting there waiting, doing fucking nothing. That shit was trash.
Okay, well, yeah, I didn't sit there and wait and do fucking nothing. So, that was your choice.
I'm
You
in
was
these people's
different.
house. I don't know these people.
Okay,
I don't know these people.
all right, bro.
Go
I
ahead.
ain't
Go ahead.
sat there
Finish your
though.
story, bro.
Anyway, bro,
Finish your story.
just don't blame that on me. It's like my dad left me with the same scenario, and their daughter was getting hit.
You talking about, but they actually had kids. Usually, I
Yeah.
was there. There was no fucking kids over there. It was just them. Multiple times.
Really?
Well, yeah, it was that. It wasn't too many times where I was sitting there and there were other children around. But go ahead. You telling your
Okay.
story. You telling your story. Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah. But anyway, um,
You were saying that
that's
we talked about why y'all didn't get along. Daddy was a ladies'
yeah.
man. And go ahead.
Yeah. We didn't get along because my dad's partners and whatever. My dad, you out there doing your thing. You leave your wife at home. Hell, the dudes, his partners or whatever, like her brothers worked for my father too.
Mm-hmm.
So the dudes that just dudes that that work for dad or whatever, all of them could come over to my dad's house with his wife's brothers
Who knew?
because that was her brother. So
Yeah.
it wasn't no. And then if one of the guys or a couple of the guys there, they drank, they have fun or whatever, they stopped by holler at their sister. They with them, but at the same time they was trying to holler at my dad's wife.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So they would tell her shit, trying to get on her good graces.
Trying to
But
pop.
but they blame me for it. They blame me for it.
Saying that you were giving the information.
I was giving out the information.
Okay. So
you see what I'm saying? So that put a wedge in our relationship, me and my
Gotcha.
dad's. That put a
okay,
wedge in our
yeah.
relationship. So that means that we spent less time together.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you would only be around for work, and then after work, you mean go and do what you gonna do because nigga you snitching.
Because you snitching.
Yeah.
And I ain't even know it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't find out till I was older, or grown pretty much. Really grown when I found out what was going on. So therefore, I spent so much more time, other than when I was working, I spent all my time at the house. You know what I'm saying? Ain't really, we work like, we work sun up, sun down. If you get some time off or whatever, even though I was young, I get some time off or whatever. I really didn't have nothing to do because I worked all the time and I wasn't
Mm.
out there in the street with them niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Give
So
them
I
that
ain't
time to
really
really
have
build relationships and all that too.
exactly. Yeah. So I didn't have, those type of relationships out in the street
Mm.
because all I did was work.
So I got a question, something I never know. When did Granddaddy and Big Mom, when did they separate? Or did they ever live together?
Yeah. When they separated when I was like 5, maybe.
Damn, that was around the time when you and Mama separated, wasn't it? When I was
When
around that age.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then was it? Do you remember what it was about? Like, was there like a big fight, and then it just, or was it just like a time to let it go when he moved out?
When he moved out.
Yeah.
Oh, my daddy, he'll put paws on you. You know
Oh,
what I
he was
mean?
goddamn whooping
So
ass.
yeah, so they I think it was a situation where actually my mom left.
Okay.
He didn't leave her, she left him.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And but yeah, you were going there to get somewhere about the single parent and being
Oh yeah,
raised by a
yeah.
single. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that put the divide in our relationship. And when I was younger, I wasn't old enough to go to be around, him doing, what I mean.
Mm.
Well, when I was real young, I was too young to know what was going on, maybe. But as I got of a certain age, he stopped taking me with him.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then like I just be there with mom and them. And then I don't know if my mom kind of took it out on me, the fact that, me and my dad look so much alike. And
Mm.
that's,
I've
what
heard
I'm
that.
saying?
I've heard of that
I
very
don't
thing.
know. I wouldn't at that, back then, I can't, I didn't know enough about that to try to figure that part out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, but at the same time, you got that dynamic to whereas in the girls was doing the girl thing, and then me, I didn't have anything to do but to sit there in sorrow because I felt like I didn't have nobody.
Mm.
So then my mom's was dating guys. You know what I'm saying? She dating guys and whatnot. They come through. They ain't thinking about me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They coming to
Yeah.
draw. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? They ain't thinking about me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, at some point you get to old enough to where you realize what's going
Big
on.
facts.
You know what I mean? You realize what's going on, and then but still it don't make you feel no better. You say it's a man in the house now, you know what I'm saying? You know, but hell, that didn't do me no good. Like I say, then you try to, you there and you start thinking about, the fact that they there, certain times and certain times they not there, and it's kind of
Mm.
consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then the more time go by, then you realize that, because you out in the street, you start going out, you getting old enough, you start going out,
Mm.
you see people that know buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, kids talk.
Yeah.
We kids ain't stupid. They talk. And then you realize, buddy married, he got a whole nother family over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you get there with it. Now, once you get there with it, you start to understand a little bit more about how things work. And then you don't know really, because when I grew up, things was a little bit different than they is now. They wasn't so, yeah, the knowledge wasn't passed around the way it is now. You got, y'all got all these different avenues. I really didn't know that it was a big deal.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I really didn't know it was a big
And
deal.
just to make sure, you talking about you ain't know that like your like mom sleeping with a married dude was the wrong thing. Is that
Yeah,
what you're
I
saying?
didn't. Yeah, I didn't really.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I really didn't know that was. You know what I mean? I just didn't really never get. Didn't really never go and think. The thought pattern just didn't go that
Right,
way.
right. You never thought so in depth into
Yeah,
it. It was just like, yeah, buddy coming
yeah.
over and he just leave and he
Hmm.
not here during the day. He
And
come
then
at night and just, it was not something that you were intentionally trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So, buddy coming, get he dropping off or whatever he doing, and
That's
uh,
crazy to be like, my nigga drop it off, Mom Dukes. But go
yeah,
ahead.
because my mom, as we starting to get early teen, my mom started talking to us.
Mm.
And then not necessarily us. No, I'm not. I'm lying. She
We're
didn't talk
overhearing
to us.
conversations.
She was the girls. The mama and the girls was like sisters. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? So they talk. But
okay.
we ain't have no money. We ain't live in no great big ass houses.
Right,
I
right.
could be in my room and hear the conversation,
Yeah.
pretty much. So they having conversations, girl conversations is what I call them, about what's going on and this, that, and the third. And then you know how my sister was. She was, Renee was out there, even young,
Yeah,
Renee
yeah.
was just
I can
out
only
there.
imagine.
Yeah.
But
So,
go ahead.
them having those conversations and whatever, you overhear the conversations, and then you realize that that's not a good thing. That situation that was going on, being with a married man wasn't a good thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not something that you wanted to get out. And the
Okay, okay.
girls knew that. But nobody never talked to me about it. I like to say, you just overhear conversations and stuff. I didn't know it wasn't a good thing. I didn't know you didn't talk about, Jimmy being here. You
Oh,
know
so
what I'm
you was
saying?
snitching.
No. I wasn't snitching, but I
On
didn't know to
accident.
keep it a secret either.
Yeah,
You know
but
what
so
I
then you
mean?
was snitching.
Okay.
You were accidentally snitching.
I didn't know what was going on, bro. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, it was my mom, them, and then it was me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really grasp that was a thing that, you didn't talk about. It didn't supposed to get out. And then you couldn't admit, even if it did get out, you couldn't admit or partake in the conversation.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't know nothing
Yeah, you
about
got to
what's
lay that
going
one
on.
alone. Yeah,
You
you
got to
shut
leave
the
that
fuck up.
alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I ain't know nothing about all that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I think that women get a pass on.
What's that specific? What do you mean? Women get a pass on?
Cheating, dating married men, cheating
Mm.
in a relationship, stuff like that.
Well,
And then you do
comparatively,
it around your children. And then you do it
that's true.
around your sons. How you gonna not do it around number one, you ain't going to his house.
Yeah.
He coming to yours.
Yeah. And I think most men have been in a situation where you done went to a woman's house and her youngest been there, and you did what you did, and you ain't really, you know what I mean? Of course, you ain't pay them youngest too much attention, and then think about the fact that, like, you ain't the only nigga that these kids done seen come over here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But it's just like you were saying that it's like comparatively, men ain't shit.
Yeah.
But we don't really give that same.
We don't give that same
energy towards women. Well, I think now that they catching
y'all
hell
do.
right now.
Y'all do.
Yeah,
y'all
they
generation
catching hell right now.
is doing it, but we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Coming up, we didn't do it. My dad and them didn't do it.
And it's funny because I think that's why it's a gender war. Like they say, they call it a gender war, but like when y'all was talking shit, we didn't call it a war. You know what I mean? We just warred. You know what I mean? You knew that, nigga, you selfish. Niggas ain't shit. All men is dogs. You know what I mean? We done heard that shit our whole lives. We already knew growing up that we wasn't one for fuck.
But they forget that it's hard to be a dog without a cat.
Hey, big facts.
When you talk it's hard to be a dog without a cat.
Somebody throwing something.
Somebody, you know what I mean? But y'all ain't
throwing pussy out of both draw legs.
Both draw legs. Boy, hey, them must stay open for real. But do they? It was taboo to say, to speak on a woman business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't taboo to speak on ours. Daddy a hoe. You know what I mean? Everybody know daddy a hoe, and every woman gonna shout it from the mountaintops.
No, big facts.
That daddy is a hoe. You know what I mean?
And the crazy thing, everybody know daddy a hoe, but daddy still be dropping shit off. Everybody know. And so my thing is like, are you a victim or are you playing a role in this thing and having a great time? Like
you playing a role. You playing a role. And that's where, and then that's where I learned, watching my daddy and listening to my mama, that if you got money in your pocket, you got women.
Yeah.
You got women. So that's why I always been on that, go get my money thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I learned it from my daddy. I watched him. My dad had his own roofing company, whatever. He made money. The women knew he made money. And they was always in his face. Always in his face.
And
then mama said that if the nigga ain't got no money, he ain't got no business in my face. Okay, so I heard her say it.
Yeah, got to get some bread.
Yeah, you can't come up with what you call my name for? What you calling my number for? What you coming over here for? You ain't got no money? I got bills over here. I done heard my mama say these things. You know
So
what I'm
so
saying?
so at the end of the day, you they talk about like tricking like that's a new thing. Like niggas, they call like in my general niggas be tricking, and so tricking been tricking since tricks been tricked.
That's why. See, that's why we tell our children that we know what they doing and we understand more than they think we do because they doing the same thing that we did. They just doing it a different way.
Yeah.
You can see it. You know what I mean? That's how you look back and you think how your mom and your daddy caught you doing certain things. That's because they did it. They didn't do it the way you did it, but they did it.
Oh yeah, I feel the same way when I'm looking at my kids. It's funny because, like, bro, I can sit there and look at your wheels turning. I know what you all. I can tell what you thinking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I can tell what you thinking because it's a chip off the old block. Goddamn.
You look at them and you see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so easy to be like, yeah, hey, nope. I see what you thinking. I can see what you thinking. Don't even. We ain't doing that for sure. It's too easy.
Yeah. So the thing of it is, and then now the thing that get me, which it don't bother me now, but it used to bother me. Like you can say the things you don't do. Don't ask a woman. Number one thing you don't ask a woman is how her girlfriend look.
Oh yeah, facts.
You don't.
Everybody.
Why would you ask a woman how her girlfriend look? Because women answer questions differently from a different perspective. If that's her girlfriend and she fuck with her and they get along good, oh, she's beautiful. Oh, she's beautiful. Look like, hey, Medusa.
Hey, any man that been a wingman know exactly how that go.
But if she don't like her though, she'll tell you the truth.
Tell the truth.
She'll tell you the truth.
Big facts.
You know what I mean? So the thing of it is I'm saying that to get to this point right here. I've been called a hoe all my life. And I ain't gonna say that ain't a fact. but I will say that I've not been a liar. And see, when I say that, you can't I was saying that because I wanted to bring it to this point. Is I don't like being called a liar. I don't. Because I really don't tell lies like that. If I tell a lie, have I dropped off such and such? No.
Never happened.
No, it didn't happen.
I actually don't even know her.
For what?
You stupid, man.
No, ain't never. But you do that. You do that because for two reasons. One reason is because you care about this person. Maybe you love this person and you don't want to hurt their feelings. And maybe you don't want to lose them either. You know what I mean? It's a lot of factors that goes into that. But that's why you lie. The other half of the reason why you lie is she wants you to lie. She don't want to know the truth because she ain't ready to go. Because she already know the truth. She don't see her knowing the truth and you not admitting it ain't the same as knowing the truth and you admitting it. She got plausible deniability.
So that's what they want. You saying that?
They want plausible deniability. Because if your ass was going to go somewhere, you'd be gone. Because you already know the answer. You already know the answer. But as a man, we protect you by saying, no, wasn't me. I didn't do it. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? So in saying that, I can have a conversation, or you can have a conversation, or anybody can have a conversation with a woman about something that's going on. And you making a statement or whatever about a certain situation, whatever the situation is, and you can say that I'm not a liar. Every woman that know you, that know your past, your checkered past, let's call it. Every woman that know, yeah, you a liar, you a liar. But you know what? They lying because Just because a person lies about a specific topic, and that's the pretty much the only thing that they lie about, don't make them a liar.
So what is about that? Well, I mean, by I think being a liar is a someone that's gonna tell non-truths consistently, whether it's about one thing or another thing. It's like it's a blanket
No,
that like
see, and I guess well, maybe I'm wrong then, because I think that if I'm just lying about a specific subject, but I don't lie about anything else, I don't consider myself to be a
well,
liar,
I think
because you I'm protecting me and I'm protecting somebody else.
I think you trying to make it sounds like you're trying to make yourself feel better about it. Because
No,
the thing is, what if I'm lying about I got money, and I'm just telling a lie, but I always talk about how I got money. I'm a fucking liar. You would say that nigga's a liar. You would say that he's a liar. If a nigga, you know what I mean? Talk, yeah, I just hit something last. You know what I mean? He lying. You know this nigga don't never get no ass. He ain't never get no ass.
yeah, but see, that's all. That's selfish, though. I
Oh,
think
so
that's
you're doing a
selfish.
service. That's what you're saying. You do an act of service that you're doing.
Yeah, I'm doing. I'm sparing someone's feelings.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's not 100% selfish.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking from the past. Things that happened in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking from that perspective. So to me, if it's not a selfish act, then it could it's a gray area. You know what I mean?
You can feel better about it.
You can feel better about it.
So,
yeah. But let me get this point off. The point I'm trying to get off is this: is that you can lie about a topic like that and still not be a liar, because of the fact that you're protecting somebody. Just like, okay, in my book.
In your book. All right, there you go.
In my book.
In your book. As long as you understand that that's your book.
But let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
But let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So if your job is to protect people from getting hurt or killed by said group of people, and in that job, you have to kill people. Are you a killer, or are you someone that protects people?
Oh, you still a killer. That's almost like somebody that's in the army, right?
Yeah.
And they catching bodies overseas, you know what I mean, overseas, but it's all in, you know what I mean, to protect, which
Yeah.
we ain't gonna get into all of it.
We ain't gonna get into that.
Yeah, but it's all in to protect the United States and the people of the United, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean, you still kill motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You still you know what I mean?
Okay, so what you telling me? So basically, what you saying is that if
I understand what you're saying, you're killing for the greater good versus killing to be like
So basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying not to call them hoes. That's what I'm trying not to do, because if I'm a hoe, you a hoe, because you're doing what I'm doing.
No, you talking about the one that's performing the act with you?
No, not just that one. All of them. They women. Hey, look, I'm an old man.
That's fuck.
I know that growing up, that these women that and I know as auntie and mama and all of this stuff, they were sleeping around. They slept with married men. They did everything that we done. So if I'm a hoe, you damn sure a hoe. Because you done done the
levels
same
to
thing.
hold them too. But what I'm saying, but what I say is I do, and this is why I say like, and I'm not saying that my mom did I don't know, like, specifics about things my mom did that's outside. But when I was talking about the other episode, I'm saying I humanized my mom. I understand that my mom is a woman, and I understand that, like, you don't put as a grown person, you've seen enough and you've had enough homies to hear conversations, and this is like normal, like you hear of all of this different type shit. You know what I mean? Like the idea of like people not wanting to have the body count conversation. Yeah. If a motherfucker wasn't throwing ass, you would be proudly saying 3. Yeah, I got 3. You know what I mean? If the number one something you don't want to, you know what I mean?
See, they don't associate that to themselves, and that's my point.
Oh, okay.
They don't associate that to themselves. Right. You as the man, you a hoe. Cause I slept with, or you think I slept with more people than you slept with. I'm a hoe and you not. But I ain't sleep with but 5 more people than you did.
Mm.
So you ain't a hoe. But your
Hey,
body count is in the double digits. So you a hoe too.
all I'm saying is,
So if
go
I'm
ahead.
a liar, then you a liar. Because if anybody, a woman,
Mm-hmm.
if anybody asks a woman right now to the day, have she slept with a married man or been in some type of physical relationship with a married man? Bitch gonna say no.
Yeah,
She gonna say no.
I
But
would assume
I'm a
so.
liar. Every time I say something, I'm a liar. I'm saying me as the man.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a liar. But you done slept with married men. And we know you have. It ain't no secret. Everything comes out. All that stuff that happened back in the day, it all happened. It all comes out in different relationships. Somebody told me one time that he was with a girl back in the day, and it was her birthday, and he didn't have nothing for her on her birthday. His money was messed up for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
His money was messed up. She got hot because she didn't have nothing for her birthday, but this dude been there for her for years.
Mm.
Everybody knew he would do anything for her. Was there for her for years. She left with this nigga, went and let him drop. Nigga, she just let him drop. The nigga he was just as broke as the one you left. Nigga
Damn.
had like some meat, didn't have no salt, pepper, nothing. Had to go get all that from neighbors and shit to make her a birthday meal. All he had was a piece of meat. That
Damn.
was it. And he got the drop. And he spent $6 on a, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
He had his own, had a crib, or it was somebody's crib anyway. But he ain't have nothing. I ain't see that nigga no more. So you just got dropped because you got mad because somebody didn't have no birthday money for you. But
Ain't
but
no
but but
telling
but
these
I'm a hoe
days.
though.
Ain't no telling
You know,
these
as a
days.
man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ain't no telling these days. But I think also like we've gotten to a place too now that like I think more in your would you say like if you was taking a woman out and you spent some money, there was a mutual understanding that you was dropping.
In my day?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like in our day,
Yeah.
and I'm glad
If a
I'm out the
dude
market.
spending money on you, number one, I'm gonna tell you something about a woman. I'm gonna tell you something about a woman.
Mm.
On your first date, your second date, at the very least, at the very latest, your third date. If she go out with you 2 to 3 times, she willing to lay down with you. You know
I don't
why?
know if it's that
Because
it's worse. It's not as it's not. I'm telling you, these days it's not as clear cut. From what I'm hearing, I've been off the market for a while, but from what I'm hearing, like niggas be actually just getting drug
women
along,
don't.
paying for meals and shit. They'll
Oh, okay.
allow
Well, they
you to
don't do
like.
that. They didn't do that back then. That was a woman back then when she did that. She already knew that you was the type dude that would go for some stuff like that. She just
Mm,
didn't take random. That wasn't the thing. Women don't usually go out with you like y'all gonna go out and dinner and do this and late night and all that. She don't go out with you like that unless she willing to drop. Because you're in a situation where it's just you and that man. You're not gonna put yourself in that situation. Number one, first time you go out with a woman, when you go out with a woman the first time, she's not gonna let you take her somewhere where it's gonna be just you and her on the one-on-one. Nobody else is there.
right,
She's not
right.
gonna let she's
Don't
not
make
gonna let
sense.
you take her nowhere like that. So after the second date, that third date usually gonna be somewhere where it's gonna be just you and me. So you're not gonna go out with me on that date. Now, if I done something stupid during the date that made you change your mind, that's different. And that's usually when she say, take me home.
Yeah, but so I got a question for you. Not this crazy, but we always be
Mhm.
should be lining up. So how long do you think for a woman that you would consider possibly taking serious? How long do you think that she should hold out on letting you drop? Like, cause I would
At
assume
my
like
age,
I'm just in general, just you know what I mean. You ain't got to like put an age bracket on it. Just in general, what would you say is a decent time frame for you to be like, okay, she ain't just throwing ass, but then it ain't been too long.
No, it's not so much about how long. It's about the vibe,
The
the way
connection.
the connection.
Mm.
It's about the connection. If y'all got a good connection, if it's out there weak, then usually you gonna go somewhere else. Especially if you got a good connection. If you ain't got no type of connection, you know what
Mm.
I'm saying. If y'all ain't, if she ain't, trying, she's making effort to make sure that she's in contact with you. You in contact with her on a daily basis or whatever. Because if she
Mm.
interested, she's gonna call. She's gonna expect you to call. You know what I'm saying. So once she shows that interest, then as adults. And see, that's the thing. People talk about body count, body count. As long as you, as long as you, I'm gonna say, as long as you protect yourself, then it may not work. You may think you like a dude, and he might be hung like a horse, and you say you can't put that in me,
Mm.
and then you cut him off. Is you wrong?
Hey.
You know what I mean? You so okay. Now that's one. Okay, then you run across a couple of more, and they the same way because you don't know if there is no body type. You got skinny niggas that women be talking about. You got big niggas, fat niggas. They be talking about all this, and everybody not built the same. Everybody can't handle all that. You know what I'm saying? Then you could get with a dude. He ain't got enough. Is that gonna, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really, I'm old school. I don't really worry about body count.
Yeah, no, I think that
I just worry about your name being in the street
mm,
around a bunch of men.
yeah. And I
You
was
know
just
what I'm
gonna say, like the
saying?
body count conversation. I don't think that people like, and then we've had this conversation many times. Nobody's actually going out and asking nobody how many bodies you got. You know what I mean? It's more about like, to me, I think that it's presentation based. So whether you got a lot or you a virgin, if you present like it, like Dave Chappelle said, if you got on the motherfucking fireman outfit and it's a fire going off, I'm coming to figure out if you gonna fucking help. Like, you know what I mean? You got the outfit on.
That's right.
So like if you're presenting a way, the assumption is that you know what I mean? And so if you just look like you got been throwing ass,
Exactly.
then I'm just
Exactly.
gonna have to set out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but nobody's actually asking the question of like how many bodies you got. So it's
Eh,
not really a real conversation. I think that was more for entertainment purposes than it was for like in real life.
Yeah. Yeah. So, a long story short, as far as I'm concerned on this particular situation, is that my mama dated a married man, and I know she did.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't gonna say she ain't date more than one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, and my sisters know it. My sisters know. If I know, they
Oh yeah.
damn sure know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody want to sit here and act like that something is so taboo when you grew up with the shit and you done it yourself. I know women that done dated married men that right now they are all holier than thou.
Yeah, yeah.
They all holier than thou, but see, we don't throw them under the bus. We leave that they pull a cover over their stuff and they cover it up, and we don't throw it out there in their face.
I
But
think. Do
but
you
but
think it's
it
because of the
pisses me.
kids?
What pisses me off about that is you'll sit out here and call this man a lie because he lied about sleeping. A liar. That's why I say I don't feel like that.
Mm,
I'm a liar.
like a habitual liar. Go ahead.
You will sit here and call this man a liar because he slept with or he sleep with women. I mean, be in a relationship with women, and he's married, or he be in a relationship with somebody and then be messing with other people, and because he do that, he's a liar.
Mm.
But you ain't a liar though. How?
Yeah.
How you not a liar? You done did the same thing,
I guess it's because
and,
like the fact that
and you wouldn't admit it to the day.
I think it's funny because like I understand what you're saying because like if I guess they assume that since I'm not married, you know what I mean? I guess they assume that since they're not the one married, then they're not really committing the act. You're the one that's committing the negative act because you're the one married. But at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying. At the end of the day, you're sleeping with a married man. And you sleep with married men, or you know
And
what I mean? And so like there's something to say about your character. there's something to say about your character as well as the man that's doing his character, but you can't leave yourself out of it. And I think we kind of been allowing them to leave themselves out of the ale that comes with those types of decisions.
Yeah, and the thing of it is that these same people, which get me, because I know it's a universal thing. It's a universal thing. These same people will look at you and say you a liar, but they can't name nothing other than something related to that topic that you lied about. So that's why it gets on. That's why I'm like, but y'all did it too. Because you done it one time and I done it three. So what? You done it two times and I done it 10. So what? You still done it. So how you gonna hold it against me?
Hey, I'm gonna let you
as a man. You know
I'll
what I'm
let you
saying?
have that one, because I mean, there's definitely a counter argument that I can make on it, but it's not necessary. But let's go back into it. So I know you was getting that off, but going back to the single mother part, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the effects that you how do you think that affected you in maybe in learning how to be a man? Because apparently if there's not a man there to help you, show you how to develop as a man and pointing you in a direction, you know what I mean, that so that you can become, you know what I mean, this man, the idea of a man. I'm assuming, or let me just ask the question. How do you think it affected you in your development as a man or becoming a man being raised by a single mother?
I think I think that I think I made the best of a bad situation, because I don't
Mm,
think as a man you should be raised by a woman. I really don't, because um, by you not having you as a boy, you don't want to be like your mom. That's not something you strive to
oh
do.
yeah.
You don't want to be like your sisters, whether you got an older sister or a younger sister.
Oh shit. Yeah.
You don't strive to be. You turning up.
Oh yeah, I just grabbed the wrong joint. I don't care. I mean, I
Yeah.
drink on the joint, but I just, you know what I mean. Once they give me some kind of what is it? Uh, some ad rep, something they're gonna have to shoot, and then we'll start showing they marketing they shit. But
That's
go
what it
ahead.
is.
But go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah. So as a boy, you not going to want to model yourself after them.
For sure.
You
I
know
can
what I'm
understand
saying?
that. Yeah.
So being raised by a woman, especially if she's not a Shaquita, running around here raising hell and fighting all the time, you're not
Mm,
going to pick that up. My mama wasn't a hell raiser. My mom was laid back. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hear her name coming out of people's mouths and she done did this and all this kind of messy
mm-hmm.
stuff. So I can say that I took my mama's side. I don't know if it was like just in me to be, more to, what I mean, stand.
Lenient, more docile.
Yeah, exactly. Because you got my sister and she just as crazy as hell. And my, you know, Renee always fighting, always this, always that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I don't, it's got to be something in the genetics or something. I don't know. Maybe I just took more after my mama. I don't know. But at growing up, that's when I noticed it or thought about it, I didn't like it.
Mm,
I didn't like it. I didn't I didn't have no male figure in my life to look up to.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? I looked up to my dad because my dad made money and he had women. That's all I knew though.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's all I knew. All I know is you have money, you get women. That was the more women you got, the better.
Mm-hmm.
That's all his brothers, the dudes that worked for him, my uncles, everybody. That's what they did. That's what they did. So my thing, and I ain't rich, but I think I did pretty good because that's what I was focused on.
Yeah,
I was focused on getting my money and I was focused on women.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you got these women out here, like I said, that did the same shit that you done, but they look at you like you just no good, you know what I'm saying? No good MF because you did it I don't know, for lack of a
And
better
it's
word,
funny.
better than they did, or more than they did, or whatever the case may
And
be.
the funny thing is that like the it sounds like essentially as the man you were learning that the man gets money in order to have women, and then on the other side would be that a woman looks pretty in order to have a man that has money.
Exactly.
And so
So,
at the end of the day, just because you're around him, he may buy something for you, but they don't. You're not necessarily gonna have him though. And majority of the time, the more money he makes, the less likely you are to have him as by yourself.
exactly.
You know what I mean? A lot more women end up just taking the chance
Hmm.
with the risk to, you know what I mean, to
You
be
take that risk.
right.
That's just like that's just like Prince when he made that movie. I mean that song Red Corvette. That
Mm,
Red Corvette. If you had a red Corvette, they was dropping. If you had when that song was out, if you had a red Corvette, you was dropping, and they knew they was gonna get dropped, but they jumped their ass right on up in there.
yeah. Hey.
They jumped their ass. So you sit up here and you talk about the very men ain't nothing that you looking for. You know, I was taught you get your own from my daddy. You get your own, and that's from me watching. Me and my dad didn't have like a relationship like we got where we talked.
Yeah.
My dad didn't talk to me about nothing but work, and he died when I was young.
Right. Right.
So he maybe would have changed.
Yeah,
I
because I
don't
mean,
know.
if you look at it, like if he would have, I'm glad you didn't, but if you would have passed at the same age he passed,
we
we'd be in the same
we'd have
fucking
been the same
situation.
exactly.
Yeah. So go
If
ahead, but
I'd
go
have
ahead.
passed at the same day age my father passed, we'd have been still on that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You'd still hated me.
Whatever. Go ahead.
but but yeah, so that's that's all I'm saying is that you know you are the reason we are like we are because if you know I bought the house, I bought the car, the truck, put the paper up. That's what I was taught to do. But because I played the game by the rules that was set and made before I was even born, you know what I mean? I'm this bad guy. I'm a liar. No. I lie about one thing. I was trained.
Well,
I was raised to lie about one thing.
yeah, I think. Well, I mean, like I say, I could give you a counter argument. But I would say that it's different to like. Well, I mean, like you say, it's something that you learned, and you've been married. Would you say 4 times, a couple episodes
Four
time?
times.
And I was going to ask you this before because obviously, like, and this is just in the past. You've
And
been
I
married
already,
multiple times.
and I can tell you the answer already.
Well, let me ask the question so they know what the question is. Is like to have been married each time, and I'm assuming that maybe the same thing that you're talking about in your past is the reason why a lot of it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming, like you know what I mean, as far as like being with other women, that
Mm-hmm.
probably reared its head and was the reason for you know what I mean the
Yeah,
dissolution or dissolvement of relationships.
yeah.
But why? What is the value that you have on marriage that you decide to keep doing it?
Okay. One thing is, one thing about that is that I don't want it. I don't want it not to be said that even though, excuse me, even though I did what I did, I always took care of home. I
Mm.
wasn't one of those people that was out in the street and everybody, people at the house suffering, lights off,
Oh yeah,
roof,
you
getting put out, all
yeah.
this. No, no. Excuse me, I can't get this out my
The
throat.
glizzy fragments in your goddamn
Oh,
throat.
that's what it is.
Go
All
ahead.
right. Okay. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't one of those people. I always took care of the house. I
Hmm.
always took care of the house. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't one of them kind of dudes. And my dad was the same way. You know, stuff still functioned in the house.
Right.
We wasn't getting put out.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? None of that was going on. But I think I know that um I'm getting old. I'm having a
It just
so
happened.
yeah,
Yeah. The question was is like, what? There's obviously that you have a value for
I got
marriage.
it now.
Okay, go ahead.
Mhm. Okay. The thing of it is like I was saying, when I was younger, it was my mom, the girls, and then it was me. I was alone.
Hmm.
And that's the reason I keep getting married.
Uh,
It's because I don't want to be alone.
Fear of being by
And being
yourself.
out there in the street doing stuff, you might just like you might hit Shaquita, but you ain't finna take Shaquita home with you though.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's different.
I get it. I
You
get
know
it.
what I mean? The wife, the one that's at home that's got the ring on, that's the one that you know or you feel like that's got your back. That's gonna be there when it get dark. That's why you gotta take care of her, even though
Mm-hmm.
you doing you gotta take care of her. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying.
So that's why, that's why.
Oh, the fear of being alone.
Yeah,
Is the way
the
you.
fear of being alone.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
would assume like
And don't nobody want to be alone. She don't want to be alone neither. That's why she marry your crazy ass.
facts. I can see that. And then and I notice it's weird because it's a lot of women in your generation that are that are single and
Mhm.
they're older, let's say late 50s, or I'm talking about your age, like that's late 50s going into 60. And it's like at some point, like you're going to need somebody.
Exactly.
You're going to need somebody. Like
Exactly.
the like sickness isn't something that you can dodge.
Mhm.
Like death and the decline of health, like that's something that's there for all of us.
Everybody.
We're literally
Everybody.
going a day a day closer to death every time
Mhm.
you open your eyes.
Yeah.
It's a day closer. So like, and I understand what you're saying, like literally, because like I said, with me and my wife, I realized like when I had that walking pneumonia, nigga, I was hurt. We
Mhm.
wasn't even, like I said, we wasn't, you know what I mean? We wasn't together at the time, but she still pulled up and took care of a nigga. And I'm like, okay, well, you doing that even though you don't even like me like that. So that to
Mhm.
me, that's what love is. Like you don't really know for sure whether the shit's real
Yeah.
or not until shit hit
Mhm.
the fan. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do where there's no benefit to you? Because there's no
Exactly.
benefit to you for you coming over there and taking care of me, and we ain't even together.
Yeah.
Like you're doing this because you have that same thing that I have in me when I see them ball ties on your car. It's a responsibility to you. Like
Mhm.
it's not even like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like me seeing you fucked up. No, I got
Yeah.
to, because it's in
Mhm.
my
Yeah.
it's in here. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the moment, like when you get older in them years, man, you're gonna need somebody
You're gonna
to,
need
to
somebody.
change them goddamn diapers. Y'all
Yeah.
might be changing each other diapers or
Yeah.
some shit, trying to work that out or something.
Hey.
But
Hey.
like, you know what I mean? You definitely gonna want some somebody
Mhm.
there for you.
Yeah.
And open gym, what up? What up? What up? He said, what up? We here. What up?
Yeah.
Um, so now, like going into after all of that you just said, you was talking about
Yeah.
how your dad was. And I'm sorry, I call him your dad. I mean, I know that's my granddad. I never met him, so we didn't have a relationship.
I
So
understand that.
it's more natural for me to say
I
your
understand that.
dad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I definitely,
Yeah. I
of
know.
course,
I
my
know. He
granddad.
died young, so
Um,
you didn't. Yeah.
and his brothers, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? All of
Mhm.
the men that were around you,
Yeah.
then yourself, and probably all of the men that you've had, let's say friends, because I hear niggas talking, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I work in the field, we work in the same
Oh
field
yeah.
now, you know what I mean? So we hear what niggas be talking about. Niggas on the same page
Same page.
on the shit.
Mhm.
And do you think that my generation is dealing with the L's from your, as far as the relationship dynamics?
Of
Do you think
course.
that we're dealing with the L's from y'all's decisions?
Yes. Just like I'm dealing with the L's from my dad's
Mm.
decision. I'm dealing with the L's from my mama being the one that raised me instead of my dad.
Something that's added to my generation too is that like there's like when you were growing up, was there a whole bunch of depiction of men being all of oh yeah, because the pimp shit was around when you was younger. So those movies, I'm talking about in the movie in
Yeah.
theater when
That
you were
shit was
growing up.
real.
But I'm just saying like in my generation, we I think that more of it is like the media than it is lived experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, yeah.
but
It's,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? I
We
think that it
didn't
was
have that. We didn't
so
have
yeah,
that.
that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
we
Like
didn't
y'all
have
probably
that.
didn't have it,
No.
but it's to me, it's clearly an attack on families. The
Mm-hmm.
way that they depict this thing and the messiness of all of the shit that that you would consume or that we consume.
And then the thing of it is these women knowing this try to teach their daughters that if you got a man that's taking care of you, that's there for you, that makes sure you and y'all household is all right, you leave him because he did the same stuff
Mm,
you was doing when you was younger. Because think of it like this: women mature early, the girls mature earlier. We've always said
we've always
we
said it. I
always
don't
said
necessarily
that,
believe it, but
but
go ahead.
mature earlier than boys. And the only reason we say that is because they accept responsibility faster y'all do. It
I
ain't
mean,
that y'all they mature faster than y'all. They accept because usually think about it.
uh-huh.
Women you at for the most part get pregnant young. They have a baby. That's where that comes from. Because she has to
What be,
take care of, she had somebody else that she got to take care of. And that's why they pretty much, from my perspective, that's why they pretty
from
much
your
say
perspective?
they mature faster because they are thrown into being an adult because they got pregnant, they got a child, they got to take care of it. And I think that's where that comes from. It's
No,
just like
I
a
don't really
blanket
believe that
statement.
shit. I don't really believe it. I would say that like a lot of men. It's first. I think that there's just a
You
difference
don't
between
believe
men and
that,
women.
men,
Or women
women.
that mature faster than
Okay,
men.
yeah,
I think
okay.
that there's just
I
a
just want to make
difference in
sure what you were saying.
the. I think that there's a difference. So like Nana, if you look at like the fact that she's more docile and she listens more,
Mhm.
she not so out like climbing shit, and
Mhm.
you know what I mean. You could easily say she's more mature.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But it's based to me. I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that that's what maturity is.
That's
You
what
know what I mean? I don't
and
necessarily mean because I mean we're just different. So like as boys, we're gonna have more energy, that fucking testosterone and shit. We just want to,
yeah,
you know what I mean? We're
we
not gonna sit
reckless.
down. You know what I mean? We're
We're
gonna,
more reckless.
yeah,
Yeah.
you gonna scrape your knee and do shit that and take risk, and you know what I mean? Because it's just that we're different. So I don't think necessarily I don't necessarily believe that because you still know grown as men and women acting like fucking kids.
I understand that. I understand what you're saying, but I'm not saying that that's what it is. I said that's how they correlate it.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. That's how they
Uh-huh.
correlate it. That was my point. I wasn't saying it to say that I feel like that women mature faster than men.
Hmm.
I think that life and the things that you go through,
And the teachings that you had from
it,
your actual
exactly.
parents being there. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what mature. That's where maturity come from.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's that, but I was saying that's where they get it from. Is what I was trying to say. Is that's where they get it from because even back in the day, my grandma got married at 13.
Shit.
13. My grandma got married at 13.
How old was
So
your granddad?
my granddad was in his 20s
Oh shit.
when
Okay.
he married her. He was in his 20s.
That was goddamn when in
Yeah.
the day
Mm-hmm.
when the
Yeah.
goddamn was popping
Yeah.
off. That whole
Mm-hmm.
that virgin
Yeah. I
thing and
think she
all
had
that
by
shit.
like I think she had 15 children.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
So that's where that come from. That's why I say that.
Uh,
That's why they say girls mature faster than men. I think it was just cause uh girls got married off so early.
and then
I think that's
also,
what it
and then I
was.
think also when you say like mature based on what you were just saying, like
Mhm.
the reason why the man would have been older because it took for you to establish yourself before you could even do it.
Exactly.
But women
Hmm.
are born with
And
value, where men have
exactly.
to earn value and
Exactly.
gain it over time
Exactly.
based on
You
decisions.
you got something. You got your own this, your own that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then a woman, back then, a woman would let you take her daughter. Matter of fact, because she got 15 of these motherfuckers. So you know
Trying
what
to
I
get
mean?
this motherfucker
Please take
out of
one.
here.
Please take one of
Yeah,
these.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's where that come from. That's what I was trying to say.
Mm,
That's where it come from. That's that saying. That's where it come from.
mm.
Not that it's got merit, but
Yeah,
that's
they
where
be,
it come
but they
from.
say it like it's like got married. It's
Yeah.
like factual based.
Oh yeah, I understand.
But and let's see what we want to move the conversation to. I had a couple questions and they kind of, okay. So and we were talking about how being raised by a single mother impacts you. And no, and I wanted to get my claim too. So like I don't necessarily believe that. Well, I don't believe that a woman can raise a boy to be a man. I believe that like my
I didn't.
mom,
I
she did a
didn't.
great job of creating good humans.
Mhm.
Like she taught us we learned right from wrong. We, you know what I mean, the love that was given. But I think that she couldn't really teach us how to be men. You can't really teach somebody to do some shit you've never done. And yeah, you know what I mean. Your definition would be simple. You would pretty much be trying to make me, I guess, something that you've never really, you know what I mean, you haven't really experienced this thing. So I don't believe that you can actually teach a boy how to be a man. Um but I also understand where you get like, I would
Because
assume like a single,
your thought pattern as a woman don't go that way a man's thought pattern go.
oh for
So
sure.
therefore, you wouldn't even understand what your son going through to even tell him what you know what
Yeah,
I mean.
you could
So
look at
yeah.
it, you could look at it as just as simple as like a lot of the times you would see like a mom trying to make a boy be a lot more docile than he would naturally be. But a dad's gonna give that leniency. Oh, that's just boy shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're gonna let that extra shit slide. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and keep telling you to get down off of everything.
No, bust your ass
Because I
one
think
time.
it's healthy. Like, I
Yeah.
need to fall too.
Yeah.
Only way you gonna know that you don't want to goddamn be that high is because once you fall, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you can do a calculation. Okay, well, that time there it was there. Well, I mean, goddamn, break it down a little bit
Yeah.
and try again. You know what I mean?
Because mama ain't gonna let you do that.
Mama don't want to see. She don't
wanna
want
see
you to
it.
fall. You know what I mean? So like, it's healthy. Like, you know
It
what I
is
mean? It's
healthy.
funny. Like, when I go to the
It's
park
healthy.
with I take my daughter and my son. He gonna do this. She like, he wanna walk up the slide. Okay, well, if you
But
want to
see-
walk up the slide and it's got that curb in it,
And
you gonna wear that. And the women always laugh when they hear me say, "Oh yeah, that's healthy for you."
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
there's a woman that walk
Yeah.
by and when it's happening,
Yeah.
they yeah, that's
Yeah.
healthy for you.
Yeah. But see, the thing about that is see, the woman gonna go over there and scold you and take you down and not let you fall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the disconnect comes in. She don't know that you need to bust your ass.
Yes.
She don't know you need to bust your ass. But the man do, because he know he did it too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it taught me, it gonna teach you too. You know what I mean? Because that's just a simple, way of putting it, you know what I mean? But yeah, things like that. Like you said, the women, they laugh when they hear you say, yeah, that's healthy for you. Yeah.
Because there's a difference. Because like when I can tell Nana that's hot. When she was growing up, she didn't touch the iron.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She didn't never touch the iron on the stove. He know what go touch that motherfucker. Even if, you know what I mean, he can feel the heat coming off that motherfucker, but that don't necessarily don't mean you know what it feel like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He want to feel it.
Yeah.
I say, go for it. You know what I mean? Hey, go for it. His mama ain't with it. You know what I mean? I don't want him to get burned for real. But at the end of the day, if I tell you that's hot and you decide to touch it, that's on you.
Mhm.
Like, I could tell Nana that, and she never wanted to figure that out. Like, she could feel the heat. Oh yeah, it's getting a little hot. Like, that just makes sense. That is, you know what I mean? She understood that it's gonna burn you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what I mean? She internalized that thing. Ain't never touched a hot piece, nothing hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but with Noah, he gonna do that thing. You know what I mean? He gonna do that. And so I say all that to say that, like, it's gonna be a little bit harder. And what they do is they actually gonna make, in my opinion, I think that women, when they're when you have a single mom, she's probably more than likely she's either teaching brother B, he's being overly careful, which means that he's going to be scared to take risks, which means that he's, you know what I mean, it's going to be that. And then either he's going to be too emotional in a sense where he's like crying too much, or she's going to do the OD with it, which oftentimes you see in the hood is like she'll OD with it and abuse this nigga.
Tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes abusive.
Yeah.
And then bruh end up going out here and crashing out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see that both sides of that spectrum all the time. But it's and I'm not saying that a woman, there's not an example of decent men being raised by women. Maybe some women are doing. I'm not saying that it's not an end all be all. I'm pretty sure that there are some women that have raised some boys and they've become great men and da 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 da. But I would like those guys. I would like to talk to them and figure out exactly how she did it. You know what I mean? Because I believe it.
Do they understand?
It's possible to be done. Is what I'm saying. I believe it's possible to be done. But I think that like it takes so much more intentionality than most, especially young parents, are even thinking to do. Like I think that I'd say that there you generally you're gonna get the overly emotional, softer version of a man, or you're gonna get the crash out. You know what I mean?
Or you're gonna get like my mama, just don't pay him no attention. Just let him do whatever because he a boy. And that was my mama's excuse for everything. He's a boy. The fuck do that mean? He's a boy. You just let him do. She just let me do. Just let me be, rather. Just let me be. As long as I wasn't stealing nothing or tearing up nothing, of hers or theirs.
Yeah.
Just
let you just exist.
Let me. I would just exist. Yeah. And that was the thing about me growing up. Like I said, I got out. The only thing that I picked up on, and I guess that was due to my dad, really, because most of the stuff that I watched as far as coming up was either had something to do with dating or money. My dad was money. My mom was dating early on because my mom and my dad wasn't together. So I seen my mom dealing with the in and the ins and outs of a relationship. I seen that growing up, and then when I got the early teens, I started working with my dad, really working with my dad then.
Mm.
And then I saw the other aspect of money and stuff like that, and my dad and the women and stuff like that. That came into play like when I got early teens. And but other than that, I there was nobody to talk. See, my mom, she had conversations with my sisters. They sat down and talked. They used to talk all the time, all the time. All the fucking did was talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there was nobody there to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I say that, you know, being raised by a single mother wasn't good for me.
Hmm.
It wasn't good for me. You know what I mean? I ain't have no I had no real, I'm gonna say, substance as far as a male go in my life at early stages of my life. All I knew, like I say, and I learned it later on, is make money, get your own shit. Because my daddy used to say, a man need a car, he need a truck, and he needs somewhere to stay. He say, if money, those are the five things. Money. But he used to say, a woman, if you see a woman walking, if you show me a woman walking, and I'll show you what did you say, a pissed off man or some shit like that. Because she say any nigga
Mm.
that's got a ride can pull up and say, see, first thing he said, my daddy say, cold, raining, or too damn hot, she getting in your car. You got air conditioning and you rolling, and she ain't got to
See,
have that
that's why y'all
umbrella.
like them
That's my
walkers.
daddy. My
That's why
daddy used to
y'all
say
like
that.
them walkers,
My
boy.
daddy used to say that. He used to say that. That was his shit. He used to say that.
All right. Well, yeah. So on this last, we done talked about this shit for a whole hour.
Really?
Yeah, I had a good couple questions, but so we're gonna switch gears a little bit and kind of go into like a more male building space. And the question for how they always say like old people, like they stuck in their ways, or what I mean, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, or you know what I mean, like this. It's almost like when you get to a certain age, it's like there's no more growing to do. um do you feel like there is something more for you to learn, or like something, or and I'm asking specific, like is there a certain thing that you're still like looking to fine tune as a man at your age? Like is there something that you're um or even like working on, like a change of opinion on, you know what I mean, or like is there anything that you're like seeing that you still need growing at,
I
and that you're
want,
still trying to shift at
yeah,
this point
yeah.
versus being a
I don't want to be the type of man that I've been all my life. Because number one, just like I said, I don't want to be alone. I'm not saying that I expect a woman to take my bullshit.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want to be a better I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better man.
mm.
That's what I work on. I talk all this shit and whatever, and that was I tell the truth about how I feel, and that's just me telling the truth about how I feel. But at the end of the day, I want to be a better person. And like I said, I don't want to be alone. I want somebody, because I'm not gonna want to run the streets. That's like today. I worked on that car, I tore apart that strut on the back of it and rebuilt it, took all that stuff and rebuilt that. But I'm getting older, so that was a lot of work. Pulling on them bolts, having to crank them and having to use my feet to break them, and you know what I mean, leverage and everything. Doing that was hard work. Normally, I used to could do that stuff, and I would have did both sides and been done with it. But I only got one side done. I got started late though, but I ain't get but one side done. I'll do the other side tomorrow. But I would have did that and been up. But I had to go home and lay down. I was tired. My arms was tired. Pulling on them that pry bar and breaking that stuff loose and
Yeah,
tightening that
that
stuff back
72
down.
kicking
That
in.
was a lot of work, for me. So that's why I was late. I had to go lay down. I couldn't get up. That thing woke me out. So I'm gonna be home sitting down. I'm not gonna be wanting to run the street. You know what I mean? And I want somebody to be there with me. So I don't want to, I don't want to be
Mm.
alone. And then I don't want to be running over here all the time. Y'all got your own life to live.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
it's a lot of shit going on over here.
So yeah.
Yeah, and then and something that was funny. I had got to a point where ignorantly I felt like I had learned what I all that I would learn from you.
Mm.
Ignorantly, I had gotten to that point, and it was crazy because I don't know why I really felt like it didn't make sense, but it still was something that I felt like I had got everything that there was to gain, and it was really ignorant. And what really shined or put the magnifying glass on it and shined the light on it was when I changed sectors for work.
Mhm.
And so in my mind, after getting out the military, I want nothing more than some hard bottoms. You know what I mean? Go to work clean, come home clean. This whole idea of this, you know what I mean? The fucking office man.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We kind of seen so much of that, and this whole computer thing that we seen that was pushed so much onto us. Um, and that was pretty much the makeup of the man that I thought that I was wanting to be and what I was going to be. And the thing was is that like you start to realize that every boy should know they pops and they should develop a relationship. No matter like if bro, if he harmed you in the past, it's better for you to let that go and move forward because you have so much of his DNA in you. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? Well, I used to honestly now I don't give a fuck about intellect shit. Like people value that. I don't really value that. Like I value wisdom, but I don't care the fact that you can regurgitate some information or your vocabulary is fucking, you know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? It really doesn't mean much to me anymore. But when I was in that sector, it meant a lot. Like when those people you want to articulate and you know what I mean? You put on that for them and then but like when you now that I ain't gonna lie, and Q pointed it out to me, I value people, men that are in those positions a lot less. But and I need to fix that because we need them too. We need niggas in the like doing the job that I was doing in the banking. Like we need them too. And it's but I just value before me. It's just so much. It's so much more me being and getting my hands dirty. I don't like. I've always been a dude like working and doing manual labor. I cut myself, and that make me feel like I'm doing some shit. You know what I mean? A little blood don't hurt. You know what I mean? I've always kind of had that. You know what I mean? I wanted to play open chess. You know what I mean? Growing in school and shit. Like I've always been a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like hands. Like I don't know. It's just a little bit weird. But when I got into the construction sector, it just feels so much me, and it's like it's got to be you. You know what I mean? It's got to be you. That shit's got to be you. There's no way that I would go from anybody goes from banking to fucking construction. That doesn't even make sense. But for me, it makes sense because it's in my DNA. You know what I mean? It's in my DNA, and like I say, I
and
go
and
ahead.
and 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 the thing about it is, the other thing about it is, you didn't realize that the money is about the same.
No, and I'm
The
just
money's
starting out.
about the
Like I
same.
was in the banking zone. I was like, you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
was at a decent position. Like I was doing some important work.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like literally looking at fucking $1 million and dealing with $1 million business accounts and shit. Like I was
Hmm.
doing that and
Yeah.
like, bro, I'm saying, and the only thing is man, it's just a miss. Like
Yeah.
we the people over there tend to think that that's where the money is,
Hmm.
and I'm not saying that it's not because in the organization I was in, the ceiling was so high because there are so many different departments you can move
Hmm.
into.
Hmm.
But the work, man, and also I like to see a finished product. I realized that about myself. I like to be able to
There's no
do a work.
end with that work.
Yeah, it's no end. It's just okay. Well, there's another piece of paper. You got that fitted. There's another piece of paper. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
this, I mean, even though like you're still going to work, but you're able to finish a thing, and you can look back and say, "Oh, I murdered that." Like I put that together, and it was seamless. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And then I also realized I like customer service. I like customer service. I knew that about banking too. I like customer service. Uh, anything customer based because I'm a person that like I like to do a good job for you. You know what I mean? I like to do a good job for you, even if you don't give me a whole bunch of compliments. Or I like to know that like that was easy for you. I made it as easy as possible for you, and you got you got what you expected and more. It was just so you know what I mean. So I know I like that too, and I get that out of this side, and I get the hands on and the dirt, and you know what I mean,
Hmm.
and a lot more time to think because over
Oh
there,
yeah.
they want you thinking about they
Yeah.
shit nonstop, and it's
Yeah.
completely everything
And there's
is
so
geared to
many
them.
women over there with that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't miss that either.
That
I don't
you know
miss
what I
that
mean?
either.
That this right here, And then,
The
doing this
oversight is
job,
different.
you got time to go and gather your thoughts and think about what you're doing because you by yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You by yourself. You got freedom.
And then
And then
generally,
you ain't looking at the same people every day, all day,
yeah, yeah,
every
that
day.
shit, that office shit
Same
trash.
job, same spot, doing the same thing. It's
Yeah, that shit was
yeah,
trash for me. I'm saying it works for a lot of
yeah,
people, but I think women thrive in those scenarios.
hmm
That's why you see like the women are
yeah.
thriving
That's why they up
in
in
those
there.
places. I mean, they thrive there, and I think like for me specifically, I need a bit more movement. You know what I mean? A bit more hands on. I need a bit more. You know what I mean? And it's like I said,
Yeah,
just for me specifically.
yeah.
No shot at the office guys or the computer guys. Like y'all doing what y'all got to do. You know what I mean? But for me specifically, and I think, like I said, I think it comes from you. And so,
My
yeah,
dad.
it's just it runs from that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It runs straight down. And
Mhm.
so that was something that you know what I mean, I've grown to appreciate. Um, and I guess what
Mhm.
we'll end here on this question. Um, well, you've told me how you think your upbringing impacted you as a father. But my question would be, if there was a thing that you know now that you wish you knew then, whether it be with my older brother or sister, just with your children in general, if there was a thing that you wish that like you knew that you know now that you wish you knew then to and that you could
Your little
do,
brother, with
what would it be?
me and his mother and I had a disagreement when he was 3, maybe 4, 3 years old. I'm thinking, and I left, and we fell out. I left, and I didn't come back for a long time. I didn't come back to see him because she wouldn't. I knew she wasn't gonna give him to me. I couldn't take him nowhere. I had to see him right there with her. I
Mm.
should have bit that bullet, and I should have came. That's the lesson. That's something that I learned that I wish I could go back and change.
No, I wasn't asking like something you can go back, but I mean that was a good tidbit because like there's definitely a lot of fathers who deal with
Yeah.
like baby moms that
Don't
ain't
don't
really happy
don't.
and you
I
know
don't
having to deal
care
with
if
that.
you. I don't care if you and her
Here you go.
fall out. You still need to go see your child. You still, because that bond that you get right then, because I'm telling you, I can remember it like it was yesterday, and you know how my memory is with shit. I can remember like it was yesterday. I was pulling off in my car, and he was in the parking lot. She was in the parking lot, and he looked at her. He go that way. He look over at me. He turned this way. He look over at her. He turned that way, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. He didn't want to try to figure out who to go to. He couldn't,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? He couldn't figure it out. And he run over there toward me, and he'll look back and see her over there. He'll run over there toward her. He look back and see me, and then
mm.
he knew what was going on.
Yeah, you can see the divide.
Yeah, he knew what was going on, and that really eats at me to the day. It really do. I wish I could relive that. That's something I wish I could relive.
Yeah, and that's just something too. I was watching Charleston recently, and he was talking about the idea of men having to like be the most humble you'll end up being is as it relates to your baby moms if you're actually pushing through trying to keep your kids in your life. Like
Hmm.
he was talking, well, he was saying that like how much he had to like tuck his balls in just to make sure because the most important thing to him was being in his kid's life.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? The most important thing was that, and it's so easy for us to like. And I know, like, shit, ain't nothing like a motherfucker sitting there doing this, and come get your kids, and come get your sons,
But I didn't get
and
that. I wish she'd have said that.
no, but what I'm saying is that like you sitting there yip yapping, and then
Yeah,
you're demanding me and
yeah.
telling me,
Hmm.
and like you're like really you're nagging me into trying to do the thing, and it's like the man or I want to say the man in me, it's the pride in me wants me to say like no fuck you,
Yeah.
like I ain't doing it, I
I
ain't
went to
doing it.
court for 10 years fighting to get that boy, get my time with that boy. And just, that's something about these. We need to talk about this court system, the way this stuff is designed, what we need to do when we go and stuff
Mm.
like that. We need to have a segment on that because I fought for 10 years just to have a relationship with your brother.
Yeah, no, you know there's something that's it probably won't be something that we do on this show because like I don't think that we have experienced a thing and actually had something work to be able to tell
Uh,
somebody what to do. But I got some brothers that's with the on that, you know what I mean, that's
mhm.
around in the To Be Fair Show network that have all gotten like full custody of their
Okay,
kids,
yeah,
that
yeah,
have like
yeah. Maybe
got
I'll
beat
come
the
and sit
so
in on that.
yeah,
Maybe I'll
like
come and
that
sit in
have
on that.
beat like the child support thing and
Hmm.
like not having to pay
Yeah.
child support, even though she
Hmm.
was the bitter baby mama trying
Hmm.
to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that there's a that's a tough one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're if you have a kid that's being like wielded as a sword against you,
Yeah.
and I can only imagine. Thankfully, like when during the separation that me and
Oh
my
yeah.
wife had, she didn't really do that. She really was like, "Yeah, come get him." You know what I mean?
That's why I praise your
You
mom. She didn't
doggone
never. She never drove a wedge between us.
yeah,
She never did.
you was driving the wedge. Oh, I remember. You know, it's oftentimes you'll hear stories about like the kid sitting on the porch waiting on daddy to come because he said he was coming and he never show up,
Hmm.
and you just sit there all day waiting. Well, yeah, you did that shit to us quite a
Yeah.
few times. I remember those days. I remember those
But
days.
was I
That shit
working
sucked.
though?
I don't know what you was doing.
Yeah, I was probably working. If I said I was coming, I probably got off too late. Your mama tell you I work from sun up to sundown, and then the job, you think the job is going to be a quick job, and you're going to be able to do this, do that. Something come up, and the job take all day long. Majority of the time back then, it wasn't me running out in the street. I was working those hours, long ass hours, long hours. Your mom know that too. But like I say, I did what I could. When she called for something, I brought it. You
Yeah,
know?
you know the crazy thing is that like even when you say that, you know, I've forgiven. The reason
Yeah,
why we had a
yeah,
relationship
yeah.
now is that I forgive you. But then I sit and think as you just saying it, I'm sitting there thinking like, and I still don't give a fuck like what your
Hmm.
excuse was. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like me being honest, like
yeah,
having the emotion of that thing being real. And like I said, I forgive it. It's not no
yeah,
far
yeah. I
feeling, but I
understand.
still like your excuse really don't matter
Yeah,
still. As like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I really don't care
yeah.
what your reasoning
and
is.
and and
And
and and I should understand or should have known that that's the way it was going to affect you,
yeah,
but
but
I
this is,
didn't.
but it's also like you say, it's also the parenting dynamic that you were brought up in. Like
Hmm.
a lot of us, especially when you're a kid, and man, this gonna be a good conversation. We actually gonna, I'm gonna put, we may extend past the hour and 30, but it's gonna be cool because I want to talk about the fact that just because you are an adult don't mean you grown,
Yeah.
and just because you an adult don't mean you a man.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it took for me, in my opinion, it took for me to be like 25 to it was like 25 to 28. I think within that realm there, something clicked for me. And it was like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? There was a
Hmm.
time where I understood like the discipline that was trying to be taught to me that I was bucking up against, it was for a reason. Maybe it may not have been done in a way that may have been most productive, but I understand it now. And that was the military conversation that we talked about last week. And then at between 25 to 28, it was like, okay, the credit thing, I understand why this is important. It's not just so, you know what I mean? It's not just so I can get a car with a low interest rate. This thing sprouts out into everything that I want my life to be. You know what I mean? That was 25, 28. Then also like the acceptance of responsibilities, learning how to lead my family and not be a dictator because I'm the sole provider and like I'm giving consequences because you're not doing what I said. And like the whole thing that people talk, you know what I mean? That was something that I learned in that time period. Like, it started to really click. And you know what I mean? I started cooking with some oil.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Olive oil.
Yeah.
And and
And
and
I
and
had to learn.
what do you think? What was the things or what was the age where you feel like okay, bam, and like or what were some things that you can remember that was like
I can
and
think.
changed you took you from like being a boy, a male, not a boy, being a male into a man. Shout my Sharon Young, we see you in there. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. I can say. I can say I don't even know when the transition came
Mm,
because I didn't have any structure. And I think you need structure to get to that point. You got your structure from the military, opened your eyes up to some things that so when you came home, you were looking for the you was trying to make it make sense at home. So you had come from a sense of structure to home, and then you didn't know what it looked like, but you knew that that's the way you needed to be going.
Mm.
So therefore, it made it easier for you to understand and to accept it the way it came.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So with me, I think it was just I was trying to do better than was done to me.
Hmm.
That's all it was. And in that, I didn't realize that. And I'm not gonna say that I wish, because I used to say I wish that I could go back and change this, and I wish I could
Mm-hmm.
go back and change that. But as you understand change, you understand that if you went back and changed any of that, it could change your life to the point where you won't even recognize it today
Mm-hmm.
as it were from that one little change.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to change my past anymore. I just want I just want to keep improving on my present and my future.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just that's where I'm at with it. And I can't really put my finger on a time to where it's in I can say it was this big thing that happened that made me change. I think I just been struggling all these years, even to now, struggling to make it to a certain place. And that's my focus. And I want to I want it to be so that if I don't make it, even if I don't make it, I can die knowing that I left y'all in a better position when I passed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Than you were when you know what I mean. When I left, me leaving, you lose me, but I left some type of sustainability for you and your sister. Your siblings. In my passing. I don't want to be one of them people, and they say because I remember how I felt when my dad died. I remember how everybody just started going through his stuff and really not acknowledging the fact that I was his son, the
Mm.
oldest son, and these things he would have wanted me to have these things, and they just took everything. You know what I'm saying? And so I know how that felt, and I don't want y'all to feel that, of course. And I just I just to be, I talk a lot of junk and I act stupid and this and the third. I just want to be the best I can be for y'all now that I know better. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And that's why I know and I understand from the things that happened to me that just cause you 25 don't mean you should be let go, as in you own your
Mm.
own. You however you do it, however you figure it out. If you need $10 or $20, best I can do for you. You know what I mean? But it's more than that because it takes. And then it makes you look at white people. How they sons be 30 years old and they still be doing this and doing that for them. And I remember looking at it like that's crazy. You just messing up these grown ass boys. You know what I'm saying? It's not what you're doing.
Mm.
You supporting them the way you needed support. You
Being
know,
facts.
and so that's all. I just try to be there to support y'all.
Yeah, no,
And
definitely appreciate it, and I agree with that 100%. Um, because and this is something that you'll notice too is that like a lot of the time, hell, there's 30-year-old, there's women my age still living at home.
mhm. Oh, women, Lord,
You know what I mean? It ain't too many times you see like you hear about it like, but it ain't too many times that you see a man my age still living at home and in the room that he grew up in, and you know what I mean. That shit ain't really happening like that. What?
oh, hey, if he ain't, well, there's a lot of them out here with Shaquita that on this assistance
Oh
getting
yeah,
this.
but that
You
ain't
know
that
what I
that
mean?
still ain't at his
Yeah.
mama house
All
and
right, but
and
it
they
ain't at
shit.
his house neither. It ain't at his house neither.
No, I ain't saying it's his, but it ain't his parents' house. I think
Okay,
that there's
I
still a
ain't give.
difference.
I don't give you kudos for going to
I'm
that.
not saying you
I
getting
grew
kudos. I'm
the
just saying it's
man.
different.
God bless the child has got his own. If you a man, you a man when you get your own. And
I'm
that's
not
what I told
disagreeing.
you. You're a man. When you get out of my house, then you're a man.
I'm not
You get your
disagreeing with
own
that.
shit, you a man. I told you that.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that.
Okay, so
I'm making a separate statement.
I'm not gonna ride
Nigga,
with you
I
on that,
didn't, bro. The
nigga.
statement I
Just
was
cause you
making.
ain't in your mama house and you ain't in this.
You gonna make
Look,
this about
look.
something I ain't talking
If
about? Go ahead.
you listen, if you and that woman got a place together and y'all pay them bills and you know what I mean, y'all wouldn't got it. But if y'all she on Section 8 and you moved in with her, I don't give a shit. That don't count.
No,
That
no,
don't
no.
count.
It
It don't count.
it
You
don't
might
count
as
as
well
what?
be.
Hold on, make sure that don't count as what?
It don't count. It don't make you give you no kudos because you ain't in your that room you grew up in at your mama house.
Oh
Because
yeah,
she can
yeah.
put your ass out the same way your mama can. You ain't got no roots up in there. None.
That's a fact. That's a
Okay,
fact.
then. So what you saying?
The only point that I was
Get your
making.
own shit.
I agree. Honestly, I ain't no nigga. I preach don't move in all the time.
Yeah.
Niggas always come up with all these different scenarios in which it makes sense for you to move in and that. I understand the scenario that you can paint, but every man I know that moved
when
in
you
been put
fucked
out
up,
before.
you done figured all the scenarios in which make you feel better. That's all that is.
I mean, all I'm
If
saying
you
is that
fucked up,
it
you
could make
make up
sense.
all
A
it
lot of
makes
them, no, I'm
sense.
talking about the way that they rationalize it. Like, okay, so if I got an apartment and she got an apartment, then one of us going, you know what I mean, going, and we
Yeah,
get
but did
together
you
and we
have an
live together.
apartment though? First,
I'm
let's
just
get
saying.
past that point.
Now
Did
you
you
talking
have an
about
apartment?
now you talk. I'm
See, that's
talking
what I'm
about.
talking about.
This
What you was talking about, they done moved out of the house. They ain't in the house room that they grew up in. Don't make me come for you. Cause no, hell
nigga,
no.
I wasn't trying to give nobody no
If
kudos.
you in that scenario where you got a place and you and your lady friend, y'all trying to make it out, work it out, y'all looking at trying to get engaged. Number one, if you give up your place to go stay with her, somebody need to have a ring. Matter of fact, both of y'all need to have a ring on.
Okay, so if you say, go ahead.
Because she putting your ass out.
Nigga, you gonna get put out with a ring on, a ring off. What the fuck? You still get put out.
But in that scenario, you did the right thing by y'all moving in together. But I'm not moving in with no woman. I'm not moving in with no woman.
With your girlfriend.
We can go get a place together where both of our names is on the paperwork and do it that way. But I'm not moving in your place.
Let me ask you this: what good does it if she wants your motherfucking ass out and y'all both on the lease?
Oh, yeah, look.
What you gonna do?
You can get the cool off period, but you don't just get a cool off period if she put your ass out and your name.
Oh, if your name ain't on the
okay, well,
I think that
no, I'm not giving up. No, I'm not giving up.
But
no,
I was not even making that statement at all. I just went with you for a little bit.
You went with who?
Which I just went ahead and went entertained where you was trying to take the conversation.
Okay,
because that ain't what I was talking about. Because I know for sure I definitely am not a co-sign of the move in thing. I just don't. Like I say, every man I know that moved in been put out. Your ass been put out.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? I got plenty of homies that done tried that shit. Yeah. Every single one of them been put out. I ain't no matter of fact. I would just say that I've been put out before too. I was escorted out.
Oh yeah,
I've been escorted out, but I still had my own place though.
I understand.
You know what I mean? But I did get escorted out of that motherfucker. Yeah. But I had my own shit too. I ain't never not had my own shit in adulthood. That's what you gotta have. You gotta have that. You can't. She got too much leverage.
Thank you.
Even if she don't really want you to leave, you still gonna get put out at some point. Like, yeah, even if she still don't want
you to stay gone.
Yeah, if she don't want you to stay, you still been put out before.
Yeah, so no, have your own shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, hell no. A woman will put you out so damn fast. Seeing they damn feelings, put your ass out quick as hell. Yes, no.
It's hilarious. It's not hilarious, but it is.
No, hell no. No, don't go stay with no woman. They got too many issues, bro. They act like we fucked up. They fucked up. They the ones fucked up. Because they'll put your ass out and don't even want you to go, but put your ass out.
The facts. I done see.
They're the only ones I know that say yeah and mean no. Or say no and mean yeah. I don't know. Ain't no man do that shit. Either I want you to do it, or I want to do it, or whatever, or I don't.
Yeah,
but I ain't finna. No,
no. I don't see that either.
Hell no.
Sherry Young, she said, "I'd rather my son stay home with me than to move out with someone and be put out on the streets because a woman says this is not yours, it's mine, not yours." And yeah, 100%. Like at the end of the day, Man,
I don't
it'd be
blame you.
better to let a nigga stay
I
in the
don't blame you.
crib a little
Yeah.
longer because
Hmm.
the only point that I was making before is that like women are allowed to have that grace. When you were talking about wanting the idea of not helping your son in his latter years, the way that you've seen, you know what I mean, our white counterparts help them their kids into their latter years. Uh, but girls, more women are likely to get support throughout that whole thing, even if it is taking care of the whole getting the baby for you and you know what I mean? And they're gonna have a support system throughout the whole their lives because especially as they're if they dad is around, you know what I mean, mom Duke's around, they generally get support you know what I mean, for an extended period of time versus a boy, you know what I mean? Maybe a lot oftentimes we don't ask and we'll just suffer in silence. Like I ain't necessarily say well, there was some years that I suffered in silence. But what I'm saying is that like they naturally people come to help women.
Yeah.
We just naturally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially it don't be pretty. You don't see no pretty women walking on the streets like homeless. That shit don't happen. Ain't you go on Statesville Avenue right now. Ain't damn pretty woman out there that's
Unless she
homeless.
a crackhead.
But I mean, hey,
Yeah, unless she a
she'll be
crackhead.
pretty for another 2 months, and this shit gonna go left. It ain't no when you seen pretty crackheads at.
You
They
know,
ain't no state.
you could tell that
That
they
used to
used to
be
be.
that yeah that
Yeah,
one they
you could
used
tell
to
they
be.
used to be. You
Yeah
could tell
yeah
they used to
you
be.
give them about
They done got strung out pretty bad when
yeah
they
yeah
just
yeah.
ain't got nobody that'll take them in. Yeah.
Yeah, big facts. But like I say, like it's hard on a man when you then imagine you ain't had no direction growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then you in your 30s and ain't nobody really looking out. So you got partners. That's pretty much where you gonna get your support system from outside, like because your family generally don't help you like that. You know what I mean? They just really, you know what I mean? They just don't. And then, like I said, sometimes you'll suffer in silence as a man because of that pride. And so you won't even ask nobody for no help. And so you know what I mean you 30 and you fucked up and you got that's why I always talk about the fact that I love my homie my homie my circle. You know what I mean? Because at the end, well, I don't. What I'll say is that I would like. I think that I could reach out to a motherfucker and borrow a couple quarters. My face is good. You know what I mean? My face is good. I know a motherfucker that
My
can't.
face is good. I don't play that. My face is good.
And I got a question for you real quick. This is last before we wrap it up.
I just don't borrow money from people though, like that. I talk you, just family. I keep it in. I don't niggas. I don't. Number one, I don't know no niggas that's got no money that I'm gonna borrow anyway. I don't be needing no $100. When I
Yeah.
borrow money, I don't be needing no $100. You know what I mean? I be trying to make a move. I be needing some
And
money.
it is crazy when you get to a certain point where it be like, bro, if it's $100 to go
Oh,
fuck me up, I'm already fucked
I'm
up.
already fucked up. If it's
I'm already fucked up.
$200, I mean, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, shit,
And
a
it,
light bill, is about between $100 and $200. So borrow the light bill. You know what I mean?
yeah, but it's different though. It's different when we move the way we move. If we need something like that, it's because we forgot about something.
Mm,
We forgot about something, and we just need you to just tell the Friday
mm-hmm.
or something like that because we did something and forgot about something.
Oh yeah, or you just
It
went
ain't
ahead
that
and
we
took a
just
risk
that's
or
what
you
I'm
just
saying.
took a risk on some
Yeah,
shit.
took
You know
a
what I
risk.
mean? That you
Something was supposed to come in, didn't come in, and then you just need to look cover this till
yeah.
Friday. It ain't really like I'm talking about like borrowing money. That's different. It is just borrowing it. You know what I mean? It's
Just
just
borrowing
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's just all up. I'm fucked up. Goddamn, I done did this and I forgot about that. Just cover this here and then I shoot. And that's just the way it worked. But as far as just needing $100, I can't. You can't remember the last time you just needed $100.
Right, we ain't talking that elitist shit, bro. I'm broke too, goddamn it.
Okay, all
And
right. Well,
something too that I learned from you,
okay. Well,
something
you
too
can.
that I've learned. You was talking about how you've been broke all this time and all this shit. Something else that I learned too that I think that is healthy, and I think more it would be healthy for a lot more men to actually experience being around somebody that's you can see that they savings is what it is, and they live like check to check. You know what I mean?
Talk about like me.
Yeah, like seeing a motherfucker like actually like putting up bread and living like everybody, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
poor, living
Yeah.
poor and
Yeah.
but having money but living poor. And I think that that's like it probably has a lot to do with like with my choice in the house, my first home that I bought and you know what I mean? The mindset that goes into it is like at the end of the day, like it ain't I'm looking for down the line.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? I still
That's
got
right.
some youthfulness. I got some
That's
years
right.
to work.
That's
I'm
right.
good. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? But down the line, I don't want to work till I'm, what is it, 70? What is
I don't
retirement?
know what you said. I don't know.
What's retirement age? 67?
No,
66,
for me,
72?
I think full retirement for me is 65.
65. Well, that you
I
talking
can
about.
retire at 62, but 65 is the full retirement.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, and then we don't even know if that shit gonna be around for us
Bro, that
at
shit ain't
my
going no
age.
goddamn. I don't know about
I'm
when
talking
you
about
get
my
there. When
age.
you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
there,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
ain't.
I
Shit.
it's just too much. You can't bet on something like that. You can't. We
Yeah.
at my age, we can't bet on Social Security. Like we can't bet on that. So like I think that it will be who
I'm
of us to really start to kind of moving a little
I'm
bit
so
different.
glad I ain't get that mentality, of just spending and spending. I've been saving for a lot of years, but spending and spending because I know people. My mama used to tell me, "Boy, you better spend that money. Better spend that money." And I was like, "But what if you don't know tomorrow ain't promised to you?" And I'd be like, "But what if I live though?"
Facts.
What if I live though? You know what I mean?
Facts.
And I've been, how long I've been putting money up.
Yeah.
And I'm still living all these years later. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I'm still living. I'm
and the
still
thing is,
living.
and once you spun it, it's spun.
It's fun.
It's spun. You can't.
It's fun. You can't get it back.
That's you. What? Shit, most of
Mm-mm.
us gotta wait 2 weeks to get that motherfucking little change back. Man, fuck that, boy. It's crazy how and I don't know. I mean, culturally, we are consumers. The American is a consuming culture. You know what I mean? That's the way that they were able to build capitalism based on, because it's just like consume, consume,
Mm-hmm.
consume, and like we definitely. And then it's worse when you grew up in lack. You know what I mean? Like for me, when I was growing up, like having a pair of Jordans, bro, you was never gonna get no pair of Jordans. I had some motherfucking Shacks. You know what I mean? From Walmart. You know what I mean? I wore some Shacks. I had some Airs that looked like the Jordans. I don't remember which number they was, but I remember wearing them joints in middle school, and niggas fucked around. They knew my black ass wasn't supposed to have the new Jordans when they came out. This is a fluke. You know what I mean? It's no way. It's no way this nigga went from Shacks to the new Jordans. You know what I mean? I think them joints came in like a briefcase and everything. And motherfucker pulled up my pants leg and seen that motherfucking sign on the front of that, man. Hey, they oiled my ass. Pause. I'm talking about serve. And from that, and then that girl told me, like, yeah, you cute, but you just ain't dressing. You know what I mean? Your
Yeah.
dress ain't up to par.
Yeah.
She told me that shit. I was like, bro, when I get a couple quarters, don't worry about it. As soon as I start working at Carowinds, bro, I was trying to kill a motherfucking ass dead.
Mm.
I was trying to kill him dead, bro. All of the jabos, goddamn, the curse of scrap, you know what I mean? I was killing their ass. Like I was trying to thump they motherfucker ass. And then you know what I mean, it got to a point to where, and then it was a blessing coming home because the culture that I came home to, I was way more urban than the culture that I was trying to like fit in. And so like most of the people were at that age, they were doing what you're supposed to be doing, what you're naturally gonna be doing financially at that age, which you ain't really got no real footing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You ain't really got no footing. And here I am over here spending $180 on a pair of shoes and shit. You know what I mean? Doing all that. But then you look and it's like, bro, that shit ain't necessary. You kind of OD. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And you hear fresh white tee every time you pull up, you got a fresh new tee on and shit. Like you OD, it ain't even necessary. You know what I mean? Nobody's really doing this shit but you, and you sticking out like a sore fucking thumb. And over time, it started to be like, okay, well, man, that shit really don't matter no more. That coming living in lack and then like coming into, you know what I mean, adulthood, when you always wanted those things, you always wish you could have this thing and that thing, and you know what I mean. So it just develops that consumer culture for us. And like, man, you always wish that you had a car that was something that you wanted to drive. You know what I mean? Throw some rims on the motherfucker, nice system in the motherfucker, like, you know what I mean. But like, I'm glad that it got to a point to where it was like, okay, I like what I like because I like it. Like shit, my car's a 2013, but I like this motherfucker, and it's about to be paid off. I owe $500. God damn it, I can't wait to get a title. I ain't never had a title in my life. I
Yeah.
can't wait to get a title. But anyways, I'm glad that I got to a point to where like there's no reason for me to spend over $100 on shoes. Like this shoe don't make my steez like I make the steez, and the shoe just complements what the fuck I got going on, how I put the play together. Like it's and this is not no, I'm not like
Oh
trying to
yeah.
beat my meat and
No,
no
no,
shit
no,
like that.
no,
I'm just
no,
saying like
no, no.
living in it just, I'm
Ain't
just saying that
nobody
it's tough.
trying to beat their meat with no $100 pair of shoes. You can't buy a damn.
Oh
You can barely buy a
yeah.
Jeep for $100 now.
No, facts. Facts. And yeah, I think that like it would be nice to see our culture kind of take a little bit of a turn into like the like stop the less flex culture
Yeah.
because we wear it and we drive it and it ain't even in our account. You know what I mean? It ain't
I
even
ain't
in our
never
account.
been that one. I ain't never been that one.
I
I ain't
have for
never been
damn
that one.
sure.
I ain't never been that
Oh, am I lying? I know.
No,
Actually, I
one. I
ain't
ain't
have
never
it. I
been
ain't
that
have
one.
it.
I ain't never been that one.
I
Cause
ain't have it.
I could step out on their ass, but what sense do it make? I don't even want that.
Nigga, you wear work clothes every day.
I-
Nigga on the weekends got the same clothes you wearing during the week, nigga.
Hey, you know what you know what I'm trying to do now though, old head. You know what I'm trying to do?
What's that?
I'm trying not to invest so much. I'm trying to stop. You know what I mean? I'm
Nigga, you keep
so
telling me if I ain't got it, then I ain't gonna get it. Like you keep telling me this shit, and then you still got them do
you
the
know how
same
much
shit.
I don't put some money in that since then.
I already know. I
You
see you
know.
the other day, goddamn digging the all in the motherfucker. I
But
see you the other
hey, bro,
day.
I'm doing all this over here 1124 out my pocket because I put like
No,
40.
yeah. I got you.
I put a lot of money in there. A
Yeah.
lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's goddamn. Don't worry about it. If you don't spend it, I'll spend it good for you. You don't spend it, I'll spend it real good for you,
Okay,
nigga.
all right, man. All right, whatever.
Well, all right, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Everybody that tapped in, we appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Again, we'll be here. We're gonna shoot next Saturday.
Oh yeah.
We've
Yeah.
been
I
hitting them every
apologize
Saturday.
too, man. I was
Fucking
working on
up,
that
bro.
car, bro.
I don't want to hear your
I
excuse.
couldn't. I
They
was
don't give a
broke
damn about
down.
your excuse either, bro.
Yeah,
They
but
don't care, bro.
nigga old, y'all gonna have to.
Oh, that's a fact.
I'm old
76.
now. I'm sorry. That's why.
76.
Yeah, that's
All
why
right,
I'm
bro.
glad my baby's still at the house waiting on me right now.
All right, man.
Hey,
Love you,
love you,
man. We
man.
out, man. Hey, To Be Fair show tomorrow at 4:30. Wednesday, every Wednesday, Unpack at 9:30. And we here every Saturday at this point at 8:30, as long as old head ain't taking a fucking nap. All right. We out, family.
All right, y'all.